Hey everybody, it is Brittany with Scribbles by Brittany, and I am bringing you the other half to this piece of artwork, and it is the scorpion artwork, and it's the split. So on this side, I've already done the Prismacolor, and on this side, I am doing the colored painting, or the colored pencils. So, kind of excited, a little on the nervous side, but overall pretty stoked. Kind of going to see how they hold up as far as the, because it's obviously the same paper that I had used from the last time. It's the exact same artwork, just split in half. And right now I'm using a deep magenta color. These are all featured. I have 300 colors that I chose from, and I think deep magenta was one that I really liked. And then I also chose a burnt brick red. And so I'm going to go in with this and just kind of start how I did the last time. Just kind of run with it, you know? I probably won't have the exact same color, but I'm going to try and keep the same. I'm going to try and go for as close as I possibly can and hope that everything turns out right. These are a little bit on the cheaper side, so I got them off of Amazon for like $45. Sometimes it'll vary. I had gotten them on, obviously, like I think I caught a deal on these actually, so I got them while they were relatively cheap. And they are a great beginner colored pencil, for sure, in comparison to like your Crayolas too. They are smoother. Well, I don't want to say smoother. They're not as buttery. Um, they do go on smooth though, so that's, I do have to press a little bit hard for a little bit more like color saturation. Uh, but I'm kind of excited about how these will turn out. Again, I'm going to try and go with the most likeness of the colors. I'm trying not to deviate too much because I kind of want it to look seamless in that aspect. So that's kind of where I am going with this, although I did not erase my regular pencil this time around. And that just, it happens. It's not anything too crazy. Like, it just, one of those things that you forget. Oh. the one thing that I have with left-handing or being a left hand is that unfortunately a lot of my stuff is smearing horribly. So I might just put this down just to help me out with hopefully not smearing as much. Because that might cause some areas to get kind of muddied up. And I really don't want that. I tried to find something that was, I think I used mulberry for the color. So I was trying to find something that was close to it for like the shadow or like the dark area. And I had found this color, which is deep magenta. So different brands will have different colors for their or different labels for their colors and stuff. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Although these are more, I'm hoping that it doesn't turn out pink, like more pink than the other side. So I want to probably try to lean away from a sharper pink when I go in with my next color. And I don't want to do a dark color, like a dark red. I want to kind of do a little bit on a brighter red. Although I realized that I did not clip my it started to kind of get a little cloudy again. Or at least the cloud kind of moved over the sun a little bit, and I wanted you guys to be able to see this fully. Although I feel like I'm doing the wrong side of it. I probably am. I just now realized it. Oh well. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. It'll turn out to be okay. I just realized that, but it's fine. Everything is fine. Oh man, my hand is starting to hurt. And it's starting to hurt because these ones I have to kind of press a little bit harder to get that pigment. And to really like blend it. That's the downfall. Okay. That's fine. And I kind of wanted to do a brighter red, so I'm thinking See, carmine red and regular red look exactly the same to me on my chart. When I'm thinking carmine, I could do 11. Okay, yeah, definitely a little bit darker in color than, and it's not really layering as well to get that transition color, but we're working it out. Okay, yeah. See, now that you can kind of see that it's starting to muddy up in that area, but I think it's just with the dark layer, as pinkish as I got it. I probably should have went in with a different, probably a different color to start, and probably not as harsh. Um, but it's working itself out. It's and I do apologize for me being so quiet this time around. I didn't have full intentions of being this quiet. Um, I think it's me focusing on the artwork and stuff like that, and making sure I have the right, I don't want to call it technique, but unfortunately I have to press really freaking hard with these pencils just to get the same, I don't want to call it like the same effect. I have to add more pressure, and that's what's causing me to kind of focus and like really fall into the artwork a little bit more. There we go. Oh my goodness, my hand is already getting, like, my hand is getting so tired right now. I feel like I'm constantly complaining about it. I feel like I have to press really hard to just, I really enjoyed these pencils when I got them, but I think that was one of the drawbacks to these ones in particular, is that if you really want a heavy pigment, you'd really have to layer and get really saturated, like press really hard. And that was kind of a drawback to these in general. Okay, now I'm going to go in with an orange, where my oranges are at. And I'm just going to go in with the typical orange. Just pretty much the same orange that I had, or, you know. Ooh, now that one laid down really nice. Okay. Started off kind of rough, working itself out. I think the more I layer on top of like that purplish color, I think the better I am. Okay. Those ones I didn't have any room for, like the yellow. I might still add some yellow to it just as a layering effect. It's starting to look a little bit more brown in the areas that, oh no, actually I went outside the line. You can definitely tell when colors get muddied. But it might be my color choices as to why they are getting as muddy as they look. But I really wanted that gradient effect. Although, when it comes to the tail, that tail is looking boss. Here we go. I am kind of speeding along with this one a little bit quicker, but I also have not used a whole lot of color. And I kind of want to do, for the yellow, I feel like I can do a bright orange yellow. So, number 43. There it is. And I did put these ones in order based on number according to the chart, because when I first got them, they were a jumbled up mess of colors. Like I went to go look for a color and I could not find it, and it was driving me crazy. Like, if I'm looking at a chart, I should be able to go down the chart, find the pencil, and then use it. And that was not happening. Okay, it's a little bit more harsh with that instead of a gradient, what I was looking for, but definitely darker on the one side than the other. Again, not hateful. We're just kind of showing what we can do with each set and do kind of like a comparison. Even though I messed up on the body, I should have went down here with the dark and then, came in instead of going from out. Well, okay, so I should have went down and then up instead of coming up and then down. And that's where I went wrong. Which, honestly, like, it kind of looks cool. I don't mind it. It looks fun and different. We don't strive for perfection around here. We just create. Oh my goodness. Look at that, girl. Okay. I'm actually digging this a lot. It kind of looks like two halves of the same. Yeah. I'm digging it. Can you dig it? Yes, I dig it. And now we go in with our dark purples, which I kind of want to do. I don't want to do a bright purple, violet ultramarine. Means I gotta go down here. Although that one's like very random in this chart. Like you would think it was going to be with the rest of the colors, and it's not. I just totally jacked the fuck out of this. No! Yeah. Oh my god, these are falling in on each other. I had to pause that and then resume where I was at because my pencils were just going everywhere. And I was not about to spill an entire case of like 30 of them that was still in the box and then have to reorganize that later. I'm just not. I do not have the time or the patience right now to do that. Considering that at the time that I'm recording it, by the next day about this time, I have to start heading up to Bristol, Indiana for work. And I just don't have the time. I mean, I don't want to say I probably will, but I'm not about to do something I also don't want to try and leave a mess for myself to clean up whenever I get home, because then I have 2 days here at home, and then I'll have to go back to work, and I will be at work for 9 days, which I'm not hateful about at all. Like, especially after yesterday, because yesterday was Monday. Monday, I kind of figured out a stride and really leaned into that stride and figured it out, and everything seemed to work out perfectly to the point where I ended up actually getting done early. And then I was like, I really don't know what else to do. And like, I think I ended up pulling like 1 or 2 extra samples that I really didn't need for work, for like quality purposes. And I was just like, it's whatever. And I was kind of doing my own thing. And like, I am in that habit of being that person that I will work I won't work myself to death, but I also don't want to be lazy either. I feel like I should do, I kind of want to do a cobalt blue, but the ultramarine is really has me in a chokehold. Oh my goodness, why is it so hard to get these back in? Goodness gracious. I don't know which one that one went to. 98. Don't need those anymore. I'm going to try to do everything based on the colors that I have right here in front of me. And I need ultramarine, which is number 87. Yep, that's kind of what I was looking for. And like the craziest part about this is that I'm not using as many colored pencils as I did with the Prismacolor, and I think part of that is because I have such a wide selection of I have almost 150 colors more for this brand of colored pencils that I can kind of try and find a really close dupe to the color that I had chosen for the Prismacolor side, which is actually kind of nice that I'd done the Prismacolor side first, because if I'm trying to color match what I've already done, that's kind of that's the goal in the idea, in that sense. So yeah. Here we go. And then I went with a lighter blue into, ooh, we should do the greenish blue. So that one is number 80. Yeah, that was almost nearly seamless. Like, I found the right colors. We'll go back through and do kind of like that. Now the actual like legs of the arachnid, I think I could have done them a little bit brighter and not use as much of the dark color on them, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with it. It happens, sometimes you just kind of have to wing it. Something doesn't always go out as planned, and that's okay. Some of these colors, or some of these pencils that I've chosen, they lay down similar to like, they lay down like butter. Like, I'm not gonna knock them. And then you have other colors that are just like, I don't know if it's just, there's something about them that maybe in production, they're, I don't know how to explain it. Like, when you have a smaller, when something is not mass produced, you will have a higher quality, and it will be more expensive. I had watched a video on, it was a really cool video, which also led me to do oil pastels, and like really exploring oil pastels. They had a video, it was on YouTube, or not on YouTube, it was on Facebook, and they had explored how they make oil pastels, and like, it was probably a good 20-minute video, and I was sucked in. And I think I was sucked into the storytelling and the fact, like the matter of fact idea part of it. Like, it was just so good. And I am gonna go ahead and do this triangle, just like I did with the other side. I'm gonna do it with the darker, with that dark color. Although, okay, now I see what I did there. That's okay. That was okay. I can see what I did, and it was supposed to be like that because of how the triangles all lined out. But anyway, I had looked at this video, and it had actually inspired me to possibly work with pastels, and I think that they are absolutely incredible. I am going to go in with a teal, this bottom part right here. And probably all of these. But it was definitely an inspiration for sure. And whenever something like that, I like the how it's made, the fact, the facts, it's almost like an experience without having to travel from your living room. And it sounds so cheesy and corny and all of that stuff. But they were, if I remember right, it was a place in Italy, maybe Austria. I know it was in Europe. And I'm honestly blanking on I'm starting to think it might have been Austria. But there was two women working at this place, and the woman owned it from her grandparents. She kind of inherited it, and then she has brought it to where it is now. And I think that is so fascinating. Her and another person are creating different colors for oil pastels, and I looked up a set of these because I was curious, and for all of the colors that you could possibly want in a set and shipping and all of that, it was close to $2,500, and that's in because they did the conversion. They did the conversion for me on the online, and I can't remember what it was in euros, but it was like, if money was no object, I would 110% buy that. But at the same time, I think I would also do like invest in like art stuff for underprivileged kids, and like just really give people, do something for like a community based. But I would do like free art classes, and I would purchase like expensive stuff for people to use and get use out of and enjoy, and so that way they can kind of, especially for like, I don't want to say kids, but I didn't like that color. You know what? I'm gonna go with this color. Yeah, that feels a lot better. I think art in the community is something very special. It's invigorating, especially when somebody feels inspired. There's just something about it that I hope you guys had a lovely time hanging out, chatting with me, and watching how I made this piece of artwork. I definitely obviously have a preference for the Prismacolor, but as you can see, if you wanted a dupe of a really good and a lot bigger selection of color, I definitely recommend the Kalour Colored Pencils. Again, you can find them on Amazon. If you enjoy making art and having this lovely color selection. But anyway, this obviously video is not sponsored by no means. But without further ado, I hope you guys continue to create more and worry less, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.